News 46 is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, a Tonopah woman is taken into custody for murder. Police arrest 2 Las Vegas residents for embezzlement, and a female is airlifted to the hospital following an accident. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Monday, March 30th, 2015. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A Tonopah woman has been arrested on a charge of first-degree murder with use of a deadly weapon stemming from an incident at National 9 Motel on Friday. 49-year-old Maureen Kinnaman was arrested after a deputy with the Nye County Sheriff's Office found her with the victim, stating she didn't mean to hurt her like this. The 2 women were in a romantic relationship.
On approximately March 27th, a report of a female in the parking lot having been stabbed. Nye County deputies arrived and located Penny Sue Silas. She was unresponsive, laying on the second-story balcony of the motel with Maureen Kinnaman sitting over her crying, and she was screaming for help. As deputies were attempting to assist the victim, Maureen Kinnaman was making statements that she didn't mean to hurt her friend. NCSO deputies were able to get Penny Sue Silas loaded into the ambulance and then began the process of securing the crime scene. Maureen Kinnaman was taken into custody, and she did make statements that she'd done this to Silas. Nye County Regional Medical Center advised deputies that Penny Silas succumbed to her injuries at 11:05 p.m. Detective Perry began processing the crime scene, and right now that's exactly where we are. They're still processing the crime scene. They do have the weapon, and they do have Maureen's confession. Kinnaman was booked into the Nye County Detention Center. Murder in the first degree with use of a deadly weapon.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office have arrested 2 Las Vegas residents for theft involving a brothel employee and a driver of the armored truck company Loomis. Operation Red Carpet began last year with the 2 suspects, Shiva Zamari and Jesse Alalava. The amount of money the pair have been suspected of embezzling is unknown at this time, as the investigation is ongoing. A press conference was held this morning at the Nye County Sheriff's Office.
In October of 2014, Nye County detectives began investigating reports of money missing from a Nye County brothel. The investigation was ongoing for several months. It became stagnant and then blossomed again after additional monies were missed. Ultimately, approximately $100,000 was taken over several months. And quite honestly, they keep finding more. 2 suspects were identified during the course of the investigation. One was a brothel employee, and that's Shiva. She was hired about 9/20 of 14. And one was, well, let's see, let's move down here. This was Shiva's house. Was on Silverado Ranch in Maryland Parkway. I'm going to move out of the comfort zone here for just a second. The other suspect was an employee of Loomis. It's a transport company that picks up cash from the brothels, and it picks up cash from banks and whatnot. He was hired by Loomis 1/20 of 13. Las Vegas Metropolitan Detectives and Las Vegas Metropolitan SWAT assisted the Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives in executing a search warrant at the suspect's residence in Las Vegas. They executed that search warrant at both the Silverado Ranch, Maryland Parkway, which was Miss Shiva's house, and also Jesse's house around Cheyenne and Fort Apache. Several pieces of evidence were seized from the residences. 2 people have been arrested. One, Shiva Zamuri, and this is Shiva. Her charges are burglary and grand larceny. And then Jesse, I can't say that, Alavalava, he was the Loomis employee, and his charges were grand larceny. Both brothel owners and Loomis Corporate have been very cooperative during this investigation and have assisted our efforts in identifying and apprehending their former employees.
Nye County Sheriff's Office deputy has been arrested for allegedly pointing a gun at his wife during a domestic dispute. A press release was issued today concerning Deputy Andrew Denning, who has been placed on administrative leave while facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon, child endangerment, and domestic battery. Denning and his wife reportedly had an argument Saturday, and according to police, he pushed her with his shoulder, then tried to leave with his child. When the wife resisted, Denning allegedly pointed a gun at her. Denning has served as a deputy in the detention center since December. We'll be back in just a moment with your Desert View Hospital health tip.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back to News 46. Open heart surgery is the standard way to replace a narrowed or calcified aortic valve. For high-risk patients who may be older or have serious medical conditions, surgery might not be an option. Newer technology now allows doctors to replace a poorly functioning aortic valve by transporting a replacement valve to the heart through a catheter. A new study examined how patients undergoing this procedure are doing 1 year later.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
I had, 2 to 4 years that I could live.
So Robert Pierce underwent a transcatheter aortic valve replacement like this one. A catheter inserted into the groin transports the new valve to the heart so it can be replaced without open heart surgery.
We wanted to make sure that the procedure was safe early on and effective then in the longer term.
Dr. David Holmes from the Mayo Clinic and co-authors reviewed the records of more than 12,000 patients who underwent this procedure and examined overall outcomes at 1 year. On average, patients were 84 years old and half were women. As a group, many of the patients had other heart problems along with poor lung and kidney function.
In this group of patients at 1 year, the mortality was 24%. Stroke occurred in about 4% of the patients at a year. If you would look at that combined incidence of stroke and mortality at 1 year, was about 26-27%. The need for repeat hospitalizations appears to be decreased at 1 year in those patients that have these successful procedures. That's a good quality of life indicator, and that was better.
Overall, men in this group had a higher risk of death at 1 year. Women had a higher incidence of stroke. Advanced age was another risk factor for death.
We now have information as we talk with patients and as we talk with the regulatory agencies to say the quality of life is better. That's a terribly important metric that will be increasingly used.
Since the valve replacement, Robert's breathing has improved and he is no longer having chest pain.
I'm still on the right side of the grass, thanks to this.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Study authors also say severely narrowed or calcified aortic valves cannot be treated with medication alone. Emergency crews responded to a single vehicle accident on the north side of town. A single vehicle rollover occurred on Friday night on North Highway 160 near the town of Johnny. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's deputies, and Nevada Highway Patrol all arrived on scene. One woman who was said to be mechanically entrapped was extricated from the vehicle by two passerbys who seemed to have been familiar with the person. Mercier was called on scene and landed on the highway. Nye County Sheriff's deputies blocked traffic in both directions while the aircraft landed. What appeared to be an older adult female was transported to UMC Trauma Center in Las Vegas with injuries sustained as a result of this accident. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. And the 31st annual Baker to Vegas Challenge was held this weekend. Runners and teams from all over the world participated in the 120-mile relay race.
This is my 23rd year as chamber, as chairman, and the 31st year for the race. And it's a beautiful night tonight, but it has caused some problems when they started out of Baker. They had a couple of guys they had pull out, and one to the hospital here in Pahrump and one to Las Vegas. But it's a beautiful night, and right now it's going fantastic.
How many teams total?
242, I think, will be the final count.
And then they're running all the way through on different legs of the race, all the way from Baker to Las Vegas. And this is all the race funds for what?
Well, this is for the fun. When someone loses a police officer, there's a fund that helps his family, and this supports that area.
Let's talk about this booth right here. We see a runner just passing by right now that you guys have set up for the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, the Chamber was nice enough to let us use it again this year, and we come. Well, we got here early today, but it was a little later, and we have cookies, water, coffee, hot chocolate. Anybody that can see us, come by. It's right here on the sidewalk at Saddle West, and we'd love you just to come and support the race.
It's a wonderful race, and again, next year, there is a website that people would like to go to if they want to find out with the results, right?
Right. That's right. And not only that, we know it's going to be 2 weeks earlier next year. So I think that's the 18th of March, something like that, yeah.
The newly named Andre Butch Harper Act of Kindness Award was presented to Super Mikey Friday night at Mountain Falls on behalf of Butch, who passed away last month. Mikey is battling leukemia and is recognized for his courage, bravery, and inspiration.
And we're here with Ashley, Mikey's mom, and Super Mikey, and with Deanna O'Donnell, and I'm Tom Waters. And one of the things that we wanted to do, this is in honor of Andre Butch Harper. He thought so much of doing something for Mikey, and he's always wanted to do a fundraiser and other things just to help him. And so tonight, what we'd like to do is present the Act of Kindness Award, which is now named the Butch Harper's Act of Kindness Award. And the first one is going to be given to Mikey. And I'd like to read some of the information from that while Mikey is looking at it. It said, Andre Butch Harper Act of Kindness Award presented to Super Mikey for bravery and courage and continuing to be our superhero. So Mikey, we just want to say thank you for all that you're doing, because you're an inspiration to all of us. So here's your award. Let's turn that around so the cameras can see it. And let your mom hold on to it too, but put her hand on it. And we'll get Deanna in here. And again, thank you, Super Mikey.
Thank you guys so much.
Would you like to say anything?
Yes, thank you so much for this. We actually got to meet him at the Mosh Ball tournament, so that was really special for us. You know, and he came up and gave us a hug, and he was amazing, so thank you.
Congratulations once again, Mikey. And when we return, we'll have your weekend sports.